hogs, really? That's the technological...
Dude, I was fucking huge, dude. Like,
No, I'm just
there's
saying,
no way
I'm just
kids
saying.
now would have the patience to slam pieces of metal on circular pieces of paper trying to fucking flip them. That thing was totally out of context. I don't even know where that came from.
Oh, hit the soundbite again. Hit it again.
I want something fruity.
So it comes from, I think it was when you were talking about one of your rants where your girlfriend's ordering something like drinks or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like from episode 2 or 3? Or...
Yeah, I thought it was a good soundbite to pull off. There's been a couple other ones from other people that I've wanted to pull off. I just don't have time.
For sure.
Too bad.
So you know where I don't ever want to live?
Where?
Venezuela. Have you guys seen any of the chaos that's going on down there?
Oh, God, they ran out of beer. I just gave up on that. I was like, it's over.
Well, no wonder they're all
I haven't
getting
seen
shit.
anything about it.
They are like about to have full-blown civil war down there. They've
okay.
like impeached their president.
Yeah, lay the groundwork. You know that Venezuela was a totally socialist state, that all their oil was state-owned. Hugo Chavez was the guy in charge.
Yeah.
He called W El Diablo. Yeah. And it's total cronyism down there. Nothing gets done. Now, on the flip of that, they were paying like, 8 cents a gallon for gas as a result, but
no one had any money to pay.
Yeah, nobody had anything to pay for
car.
it anyway. So,
Well, they just have ungodly corruption going on.
Yeah,
down
it
there.
is.
And it's
It
just
is
been
completely and utterly just wrong.
Is it Venezuela or is it Colombia has the highest crime rate in the world? Or
No
highest murder
idea.
rate?
I thought that was
coin,
D.C.
Flip a coin, pick one.
it's
It
one
doesn't
of the
really
two.
I
matter.
thought Colombia was in Venezuela.
No,
That's not their
it's
capital.
a separate country.
So
They're like
But
spooning.
so
They're
they-
spooning on the map.
Yeah. So the basically the oil collapse has
Totally
cut off
ruined them.
their main GDP. Right. They have no money. Like the corruption was just surviving on this one golden goose that was laying these golden eggs, and the government was probably seizing, corruptly stealing 70 to 80% of it, and then the rest of the 20 was keeping the rest of the country afloat, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And they were, I think they were imposing, the government didn't have enough money for their social programs, which outraged like the citizens, and then they started to impose taxes on fucking bus rides. Right, because a lot of people there don't have cars, and they're taking buses to their, slave wage labor jobs,
Sewing soccer balls and making
just
Nike
horrible
shoes.
shit.
Yeah.
And the government decided that they were going to milk those people for even more money by increasing the taxes on bus fares to try to make up for the missing money. And that was when I first started being aware of it, maybe like a year and a half ago. And there were people rioting and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they basically, I don't know what their laws are, but they did whatever political process they needed to like kick out the president. And they wanted that person arrested. Mm-hmm. But then he became some sort of like side person, some side government office.
He's a chief advisor to the person that came in,
and like was trying to get pardoned by that person, so they didn't have to face all the criminal charges. That basically they're just refusing to step down, and the economy is just falling to hell for them. And it's gotten to the point basically where they don't even have food. They have like no food. They're like taking pictures of the grocery stores, and it looks like The Walking Dead. Right, the grocery stores look like they've been ravaged. There's nothing like on the shelves. There are people waiting for all day to get like a scoop of rice and some food. And now last I heard, like the government capital is like defending themselves with tanks against the citizens. Jeez. And they've like killed like 4 or 5 people, and they're arresting hundreds of thousands of people that are basically just trying to overthrow the government at this point. It's like the entire nation versus the government. But, they've put themselves in like basically just protecting themselves with what's left of the standing military and police forces that's there. And the Olympics are going to be held there.
You're talking about Brazil.
That's Brazil.
It's still in the same area, though. Like, I was reading something on Brazil.
Brazil is huge.
And it's
not the same.
No, it's not.
It's on the same continent.
Right?
Yeah,
Brazil,
maybe
Brazil is trying to impeach their president.
maybe I'm.
So,
So is Brazil have a
or
food
Argentina?
shortage too?
Brazil.
Okay.
I don't know. I know Brazil has a ton of other stuff going on, and the Olympics are coming in like a month and a half.
Yeah, the Olympics are
Yeah.
there. There's some soccer player who came out and said like nobody should go to Brazil. There's like chaos in the fucking streets.
It's dirty
There's-
everywhere.
It's
They
in
can't clean
Rio.
anything.
Rio is disgusting.
They're saying like the
Yeah.
waters are all like horrifically polluted and
Yeah.
it smells really bad, and
bay
people
is
are supposed to
terrible
be
there.
like swimming and doing their rowing shit. Oh, and then
and then you have Zika virus on top of
I
that.
know that's the
Oh
other
my
thing I saw too. I was
God,
like, oh my god, so
seriously.
you're gonna bring in hundreds of thousands of people to pick up Zika virus and then flood it all the way to the rest of back to the rest of the world?
Yeah, this is how it happens.
The apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys ever play?
Those damn Christian people, they were right.
Children of men is going to happen, where people can't have babies or choose not to have babies.
It's already started. That like didn't the first cruise to Cuba come back with norovirus?
Norovirus is really common though on cruise ships.
But still, the fact that
cruise
you go
ships
down
coming
there
out
and
of
come
here
back with it.
get it all the
No,
time.
yeah, the norovirus is actually the most common virus, I think.
I
The
don't know.
norovirus.
It's the most common stomach bug. It's really, really easy to catch.
Yeah. I know Zika's been reported in 43 states in the U.S. and there's over 200 or 300 cases of it actually being reported in women, and all of them have been from overseas travel. So they've went to Honduras, they've went to Brazil, they've went to the Caribbean, they've gotten bit by a bug and came back. And they're also afraid of the virus spreading throughout mosquitoes that are coming up from, they're migrating north because it's getting warmer.
Well, and they said this summer when they do migrate north, we don't have enough money to throw at it to stop it.
No.
And so today, even though this podcast will probably go out a couple of weeks, this will probably still be in the news, but they confirmed that Zika virus does indeed damage the brain.
Yeah.
So not just microcephaly for infants or for newborns, but adults, and it can be passed on. It's a sexually transmitted disease also. So that's how this thing's going to spread, not just by mosquitoes.
That's so gnarly. Because originally they were only worried about it because it would affect newborn infants. But now that there's info that's saying, because they were like, oh, if you get it, maybe you'll get a rash and a fever, and then that's it. But if you're a healthy person and it has you can, it's probably mutating along the way as it's going up, and as it's passing from pathogen to pathogen, from carrier to carrier, it's probably going to be this whole new form. And if it's starting to develop ways to hurt actual people, there could be a huge lockdown in the States, especially places that have in the South, dude. Come on, you from there, they have constant mosquito problems all the time. So
I wouldn't call it a problem. I would call it fucking terrible.
Yeah, yeah. But there's clouds of those fuckers rolling through.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think it affects adult brains. It's just they've confirmed that it does to infants.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
still just as bad.
They say that, or they think that it can stay viable in male sperm or for up to 6 months, if not more.
Jesus Christ, it's gonna be funny because there'll probably be a gap in people being born. Because I don't know, I wouldn't be thinking about having a kid at that time if I was married, and then maybe I would wait for the whole thing to pass over instead of because I don't. It's not worth the risk. You're having a kid with a tiny head born. It's just so scary.
Yeah, most of the time they don't survive. But here in San Diego, we have the same type of mosquitoes, the same species of mosquitoes that carry the Zika virus down in South America. So all it takes, I know for here with public health, they're not necessarily worried right now of the mosquitoes migrating, but all it takes is 1 or 2 people that did go down there, contract it, come back, mosquito bites them. Now that mosquito's infected and will pass it around and around.
To its offspring, it keeps going. There's already somebody here. California's reported one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the only place that hasn't, I think, it's Montana, Nebraska, the far.
Can
far
they
forward
test for the
northern states.
antibodies though against it?
I don't know if they can yet. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Because as far as I know, it's just it only fucks you up if you're a woman and pregnant, right?
It only affects the infants.
Right,
Like
the infant.
Yeah,
If
but
the
what they're
woman's pregnant.
saying is if I think their current guidelines are something along the lines of if you're a woman and you travel somewhere, don't get pregnant for up to a month. But if you're a male and you travel down to South America, try not to get someone pregnant up to 6 months because it can stay in your system longer, at least stay in your
No, I
sperm
jack
longer.
off way too much for that, dude. I'll get
So-
rid of it.
so-
in like, I'll get rid of it in like 24 hours.
It's just an incentive to say swallow.
I just look. If you get
Swallow,
if
baby,
you
I
get
might
pregnant,
have Zika.
if you get pregnant, just go get tested for Zika. If you do, have an abortion, and if you don't, or whatever, maybe you can just take an antiviral. Just clear it out before your baby gets into any serious development.
Yeah, it'd be crazy to see if like after the Summer Olympics, how many countries start reporting having it, just to like, because you literally see the virus spread throughout the world just by the Olympics coming and then everybody going back home. It'd be really cool.
Well, did they not raise any money? I mean, isn't that like a huge thing for the Olympics to be in a place, and
It costs that country tons of money
Yeah.
to put it on. And Brazil doesn't have tons of money to spend on building new stadiums and Olympic parks and Olympic villages and all that other stuff. The cost to host the games is huge.
Where's the last place they had the Olympics?
Summer or winter?
Sochi. Oh no, that was the winter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was in Sochi. And that was
As
when...
Beijing was the last.
Summer Olympics.
No.
Was it?
It was London,
London 26. Yeah, you're right.
2012.
Yeah. Okay.
Sochi was the last one, and that was when like the Olympic Village where all the athletes stay wasn't built all the way. They had doors that were like half on, or like bathrooms that had no dividing stalls, or they didn't work. People got locked into their rooms and had to bust out before they had to go.
The Olympics is always such a clusterfuck. It seems like nobody can do it right. Like in Beijing, they always had like the smog everywhere, and you got Zika, and like they can't even clean up the fucking lakes where they're gonna be rowing. Like they can't even build like why do people still like? I understand
It's
why
a fucking
it's a huge
scam,
thing.
bro.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean
a
like
fucking
it costs
scam.
the country a lot of money. Like,
Well,
are
have
they-
you've seen the stuff about FIFA? Have you seen the news about those? That's all cronyism and scams that people countries would pay to host it there, or to be selected to host it. Because normally when you sign up, it's just like the Olympics. You propose it, and there's a committee who votes on where they're going to have it. But
the World Cup is what you're talking about.
yeah,
Okay,
So-
yeah.
Soccer.
FIFA
Yeah.
World Cup. Yeah, but people were like taking bribes to host the World Cup at certain sites. So like
Africa.
it's going to be in
Worst World Cup ever.
it's
Fucking
going to be
vuvuzelas.
in Qatar next.
Oh, that makes sense.
That is built on the bones of many Nepalese people.
Tons of people have died building the stadiums already. It's like
Yeah.
a huge disaster.
But that's what I'm saying is like, if nobody can get it right, if it costs your country a lot, if there's a shit ton of like, I understand it's tradition, but somebody needs to go in and totally tip this thing on its end and revamp the whole fucking process, because it's not working for anybody apparently.
Does
There you go.
does
There's your
anybody
next
have
job.
as many stadiums as the United States? I mean, don't we have enough stadiums? Shouldn't we just be hosting this shit? It's like we already got like a bunch of
We're already
big ass
winning it,
buildings
yeah.
like set up for it. Choose a stadium up in the snow for the snow shit. Choose a stadium
Mile
down.
high,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
Well, there's so many pictures of like abandoned Olympic stadiums or abandoned.
didn't John Oliver
like,
do like a special on the FIFA Cup where they went somewhere after the fact and they showed pictures of like all this abandoned shit.
Yeah.
They just left it. They're just like, fuck. We don't even have the money to like break any of this stuff down
Just
or
let
do
it
anything
rot.
with it.
There was a video of a guy. It was in Russia. It's an abandoned bobsled thing, and what he does is he rides his bike down. It looks so fucking cool. Like you could repurpose it as like a gutter punk theme park, I guess. But I don't know, you can't. Even in Beijing, they didn't even do anything with their stuff.
No, they do. There's a place here. I found it and I put it on my Amazon wish list. But you can go like luging. You can do that.
I would go luging. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, through the old Olympic.
up in Tahoe.
I'll have to look and see.
Yeah, they up in Heavenly area in Tahoe. They hosted Olympics a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, America has the money to be like, we have the people who are going to come back and like they're like, oh yeah, let's go luging. Like we can afford those niceties. But I mean, fucking China doesn't let their people out of factories long enough. Beijing, yeah. In Russia, like nobody has the money. They're running around looking for potatoes all day.
Didn't Beijing have to like shut their city down for like 4 days just to let the smog clear out?
Yes, just so you could see across the street. They had to cut. They had to shut
like
it down for a
pictures
couple
of like
days.
the day before, the last day, and then the next day, and it like went from clear, beautiful blue skies to like fucking post-apocalyptic death skies.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my
They took like 25 million cars off the road or some shit. That's what they did. Is they shut down all the cars in Beijing just to clear it out. And it took days to clear out too.
I like seeing the pictures where everybody walks around with like face masks on, you know, because they can't breathe the air. And then there's the dudes with it like on their forehead while they're smoking cigarettes and just acquiring like mesothelioma, you know, at an alarming rate.
So gnarly. Okay, so we briefly touched on this a little while ago. It was about what do you call the generation, like millennials get lumped in this huge category of anybody who's a newborn to 30 plus, somewhere around there. Like, what's the gap on the everything on like who's a millennial, what are they after?
Do you have any info on all the generations, like who's what?
No, somebody could look that up while I'm reading this.
Baby boomers are 45
Losers.
to 61, 69.
No, they're the ones who fucked it up for us. Is what
Absolutely.
It was. Seriously, the one who killed. Okay, so what happened is MTV, their ratings were plummeting because they're getting their ass kicked by every other place to look up stuff, and so in order to do some market research, they went out and they did a survey of over 1,000 kids in March of 2015. And they asked them, like, hey, over these 1,000 kids that were born after December 2000, what they should be called. They generated over 544 names for themselves, that age demographic, including the navigators, the regenerators, the builders, the bridge generation, and the winner, what all 1,000 of them came down to, was the founders generation. So these entitled fucks think that they're we're the one who are rebuilding everything. The reason why is because they were saying that they want to be called the founders is research shows the younger teens today see a world drastically disrupted. Facebook and Google have upended new businesses, the news business. YouTube disrupted television. Airbnb and Uber have unsettled long-establishing industries like the hotels and taxis. The economy itself was disrupted by the Great Recession, creating a world in which their parents may have lost their jobs and family budgets are tight. So that's why they consider themselves the founders, because the internet's so accessible to everybody that they can rethink these long-standing industries.
These are people born after 2000?
December 2000. That's
but
how
they didn't
think.
make any of that shit.
No, but they and I'm gonna defend them. Go ahead.
Was this just on MTV or
this is on Times? This is on Time.
Oh, because everywhere I'm looking, they're calling them Generation Z.
And there's a bunch of.
So they're trying to like rebrand themselves.
Yeah,
well, I don't like generation letters. I like a catchy.
Yeah,
catch name.
some of the names that the people who so like the baby boomers probably try to push on them was Generation Z, iGen, Post, Homeland Generation, the fuck, RGen plurals. So, but MTV, they're trying to be cool. They're like, what would you call yourselves? And they would like
we should call them the non-cis binary generation. That's what we should call them.
So before, because they have Gen X, which goes from 65 to about 80, and then before, at least I think was lumped into the Gen Y, which was like 81 to 95 or something like that.
Mid-90s, yeah. I think that's where we're all at.
But then we all got lumped into. Sorry, Chad.
I'm just being serious, dude.
I'm just saying.
You're the one who constantly.
I was waiting. I'm just waiting for it.
But then we got all lumped into the millennials. So now, from 81 to 2000, you're all lumped in together. And I feel like someone from 81 had a severely different childhood than someone who was born in 1999, who always knew the internet.
So that's the span of the millennials is from 80s to the 2000s.
Yes. So Gen X is about the same span.
20 years.
But I feel like the progress in technology has changed severely from 81 to 2000.
It should be measured by
to 80.
the culture. right? It should be measured by the culture, because you could say the baby boomers. Well, that makes sense because those are the last fucks who had 5 or 6 brothers and sisters. Right? That's a culture.
That's like the World War II era of people.
Well, that's why they're called baby boomers, because
it's a boom in
back,
the babies.
People fucked a lot of
right,
kids.
but that sets a precedence, right? Like if you were raised as like a single child, you have a completely different mindset than somebody who was raised with 5 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
You know, that's the generation where milk was still being delivered to the fucking doorstep in the morning. And, you know, I don't know. It depends on where you came from, but both of my parents were like, oh, there's no food in the house. My brothers were all, you know, eating the food, had to wait for paycheck, you know, to come in for the parents to, you know, stock the house with groceries. And the idea that I'm supposed to be thinking along the same lines as somebody who doesn't even know what the fuck a Sony Walkman is, or Pogs, or fucking, you know, like
Pogs. Really, that's the technological.
That was fucking huge, dude. Like,
No, I'm just
there's
saying,
no way
I'm just
kids
saying.
now would have the patience to slam pieces of metal on circular pieces of paper, trying to fucking flip them. I remember life with no internet. I didn't have internet in my house until I was like 13 years old.
And I think that's the defining factor is like, if you remember.
Internet was very different back then too.
So then what generation of the internet are you even looking at? Are you looking at the first generation where it was, you know, military and colleges talking together? Or do you look at the second generation where it became, okay, it's publicly accessible to everybody? Or the third generation which is, I think it's kind of where we're at now, where it's social media, there's every single platform is on there. Like, what you're defining, where's the line? Because if you want to drill into that, then that line is so blurry too. Like, where is it?
From the time that GeoCities existed to it died, that's the generation. That's the gap. GeoCities or Angel Fire, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Your previous.
If you play the dial-up sound and you don't know what that is, then that's the cutoff.
Exactly.
If you know that Yahoo was the dominant fucking search website, and it started from a website that used to monitor golf scores.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I. Apparently, we're not part of that generation.
That's because I'm older than you.
No.
I was 13 when the
I
internet
still have
came
my
in.
Yahoo email. I've had it so long I can't switch.
Really?
I'm stuck in
You're
the
too
past.
invested.
Wow.
I'm stuck in the past.
See,
You're
the
like
founders generation doesn't have that problem because they built on, you know, they got whatever the fuck else they're doing now.
I was looking up old transcripts, trying to get transcripts from all the community colleges I've been to, all transferred over to the one that I have now. And so I was looking at one. You know, you get to see all your old information as I was logging into like Palomar. I didn't know my password. I had to, recreate it.
Sure.
And then it goes, shows the address that I was living at that time, and then my email address. And I was like, oh, duh, Beach Boy. Because I lived... So I remember when the word duh was a substitute for the word the for a while. It was like a hot beat minute where people were like, duh, to watch, or, what, I don't know. It was it was kind of like one of those first dumb vernaculars that kind of penetrated from the black culture.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no fucking way that we should be lumped in. We're gonna have to keep like segmenting them down. They got to be smaller. They can't get broader. The years in between.
Yeah, that's why it was better when it was Gen Y and then Millennials from 2005 on, or 1995 on, or 1998
yeah,
on.
I'd
or
be
whatever.
more okay with that, with the idea that I'm Generation Y, and then all the new kids, like you said, maybe born. The Millennials should just pick up from 2000.
And that's what it is. It's basically
It should be
December
2000 and forward.
Okay. So if you
But people who are like 15 or 16 years old, because if you're 1 year old, you know what the fuck's going on in that time, so it's irrelevant to you.
What do you think about? I feel like there should be another generation in there also, because about the kids who are aware of 9/11 happening, because you have all the kids post 9/11 who never grew up knowing life before
the war on terror.
Yeah, well, it's always been war on terror. But you have that small gap between, like, I don't know, 1994 would probably be the last date of you're old enough to remember things before you had to go through airport security like you do now, or
Put your arms up and get scanned by a microwave or whatever.
take off your shoes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember being
annoying.
in high school and thinking that America was literally untouchable. right? Like we had won all the fucking wars. History had told that America
Well, we
was the
still think like that.
America
but-
was the greatest, right? Yeah, but it was like the closest anybody had ever
were
got.
untouchable.
Right,
Was
and-
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, was Pearl Harbor. That's the last time anybody even got close to touching us. And as far as I'm concerned, that was just a conspiracy, and we let that shit happen. Right? That was a little gimme just to stir up some nonsense, to drive the populace and motivate them to go to war. Whatever. It's just a dumb thing. But I remember being at high school and like there were fucking color televisions with cable in each room and watching the fucking Twin Towers on fucking fire and watching the first building fucking crash down. Yeah. Like school was done. And
I had one teacher who wouldn't let us watch TV.
Dick. Or fish, whichever one they were.
We left.
Most
people left.
I felt like I didn't have the reference then, but now I was like, oh, this is like Modern Warfare 2, where the Russians come in and start attacking America on American soil. Like I remember thinking at my house, like, thank God I live in Valley Center and I got my guns at home, right? And like I was thinking about being on my house.
Red Dawn.
Yeah, and like being able to see the perimeter for a mile from my house across from anywhere, and like I had all these dumb.
The funny thing is that thought the Russians, because that's the last person who was like, it's a relic of the Cold War from the 80s. So those people who thought that were still the only people who could come against America were 20 years in the past. So that's why I feel like this whole founders thing isn't that bad of a name, to be honest, because the internet changed everything. That's why you guys were just saying, like, post-internet, your life's different. 9/11 changed everything. The housing market crashing through the economy on its end changed everything, too.
Fuck off. You're all a bunch of pussies. None of you went through the Great Depression.
Either way. But,
yeah, you want to say I didn't, but you don't know.
I don't know. I really don't. But
no, he did not.
But
he definitely did not.
But for their name, I feel like there is some validity to it, because it's hard to put a line in the sand. It really is. You can't be like, like you said, like
okay, so let's call them just Generation YouTube.
You're gonna brand it?
Yeah.
They're Generation Pussy.
They're Generation
good
YouTube.
One
old people say that about the next smaller generation.
Because you can't say Generation Facebook or MySpace.
Well, you can't say MySpace
because it's already dead and gone, right? It was replaced by Facebook. But then Facebook has become equally popular and unpopular at the same time. Yeah. So it's not something that everybody's on board. It's almost everybody's kind of like begrudgingly attached to.
Yeah.
And it's like every day it just gets worse and worse.
It'll die eventually. Something else will.
I don't know if it'll. I don't know if I'll ever. It'll be like MySpace, right? Where you just don't go there anymore.
And that's how it dies.
But your stuff doesn't exist on MySpace anymore. That's gone.
No, my stuff's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Because I keep checking back every once. Sometimes I lose a picture and I'm like, oh, I know that picture was on MySpace, and I'll go back in.
When the sale happened to Justin Timberlake from News Corp, a lot of the stuff got lost in the shuffle. A lot. There's a massive amount of data just gone. Because they changed the format. It's not exactly the same anymore.
I remember, like, when I looked on the stuff, I was like, oh man, this is so funny, because when I was uploading pictures to MySpace, and I could see I could still go on there and see who my friends were, who I was connected with, and I can go in and look at their pictures, and probably me and all my friends are on there are somewhere between like 17 and like 21, 22. I don't know, somewhere in that range, maybe 18 or 19 and 21, 22. And it's just everybody getting fucked up, like just getting fucked up, like parties. I have like pictures of like guns and shotguns and fucking stupid shit where we went to Vegas and we just had a bunch of just piles of like $100 bills for fun, and we fucking threw them out. I don't know, just being like stupid shit before anybody was even considering like the ramifications of now people are like super sensitive about what they post on Facebook, because it's like, oh, your next employer could fucking demand to have the password to your fucking Facebook account and check on it and all this stuff. It was just interesting what my friends and I were posting on Facebook, because it was just us. Like I thought I was satisfied with Facebook with like my 30 or 40 friends.
Facebook or MySpace? I
mean MySpace. With my 30 or 40 friends. There's no fucking grandparents. There was no fucking branded bullshit. There's no like Pepsi, like Nike. There was like none of that stupid shit.
See, I had, like, my mother literally this past week found Facebook.
Have fun with that. Well, I mean, it's not even a problem
Everyone's
anymore.
mom is on Facebook.
It's not even
How
a
is your
problem
mom
anymore.
not?
She never. She held out until the longest.
Wait, your
like,
mom's alive? Oh my god!
Yeah, you know, right?
Talk about the Great Depression.
Yeah. If you met her,
Holy
you don't know how
shit.
true that is. Sorry, Mom. No, it's because she probably will listen to this.
Okay, make it count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say
So
some really
This is
nice
just
things.
No,
like,
like
this is
she-
just like Facebook.
she had an old school flip phone for the longest. They finally talked her into an iPhone. She got a 6 Plus. I think it's actually a 6S Plus.
Okay. So I guess my thing is we all remember a time because we're all of the Gen Y. Or like, we're all technically part of the millennials.
now.
We're all part of the millennials, apparently. So the founders, the 16 and below, do you guys even think that's a good name for them too? Because I think it's
No.
spot on, to be honest.
No.
Why?
I
The
don't
founders
think
makes
they're-
me think of the founding fathers.
Okay.
There's nothing I see out of a modern teenager that's going to make me think, oh my God, they're going to do so much. They are going to create so much more.
They already have.
Who? What 15-year-old has created anything
no.
other than, hey, look, I can Photoshop better than that Yahoo over at
Those,
GQ.
those are the millennials that have created that stuff.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying is like, well, they already have, but they will because they're the ones who are building up on what we've already laid down for them, just like the one before. So,
won't.
so you don't think so? Because that's what
No.
the generation before. Because I'm telling you, every generation that sits up goes, we were the best ones. Everybody else before us fucked it up. The new ones coming up have no idea what's going on. Every single generation says that.
I'm not saying that they're going to fuck it up or whatever. I'm just saying they're not going to create something groundbreaking and beautiful like has already been done.
No, they're going to make something that hasn't been done before. They're going to be the ones that kill Facebook. They're going to be the ones that create an Uber sex doll that goes everywhere. They're going to be the ones to do it because we're not going to.
You know,
it's
You know
our
what's going to
time's
kill
passed.
Facebook? That one privacy setting that they forgot to put in. That's what will kill Facebook. That will finally be the death knell for that thing. Where all of a sudden your mom sees your naked selfies. That's what's going to kill you.
I don't think people are putting naked selfies on Facebook anymore.
Not anymore.
That shit's all on Snapchat and whatnot.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. People keep Facebook around simply for historical values, kind of like you do with your MySpace page. It's still a venue, but it's in its last hurrah.
Okay, I know we keep getting off to talking about Facebook, but I mean, so yes, we created Snapchat, but without users generating the content, then that app is nothing. If everybody stopped using Snapchat, it would disappear. They're creating the content. They're creating a whole different.
I still don't
way
have a
of-
Snapchat account, and I
Well,
refuse to because they've had so many major breaches early on that I don't know they could ever plug the dike.
And that's what I'm saying is that our generation isn't the one creating, like, we're creating these, but we're not creating the currency that's keeping these new things up and moving. We're not the ones creating the content. We're not the ones uploading our, because without us,
But
without
that's
the
not
people.
founding something. To found something is to be the creator.
You
right?
create it like
for
John
example-
Quincy Adams isn't a founding father. John Adams is.
Okay.
I would say like the
Even though
millennials,
John Quincy
right?
Adams
Like
is
my
considered.
generation got to experience the iPhone,
Okay.
but some old dude named Steve Jobs fucking made it.
Okay.
Not me. The millennials had nothing, had
But
fuck
you-
all to
but
do
you
with some of the
consider-
greatest
but you
technological
consider-
advancements.
But you consider an iPhone a millennial. It's an icon of millennial, not
It
a
is an
baby
icon
boomer.
device, but I wouldn't call myself a founder of iPhone.
So the name
Agreed.
isn't what's doing it. So okay.
The millennial sticks because it's the millennium,
Yes.
right? So that's there's people
Okay.
who are living in the new millennium. So that
That
makes
Grew
all
up
the
in
sense.
the new millennium.
Makes perfect sense because you're just describing the era itself.
Baby boomer era, Gen X.
You have
fighting
the
back,
silent
X.
generation,
Yeah.
then the baby boomers, then Generation X.
What we should call
and
them
then the millennials.
Is the product because
I was just going to say,
basically,
what do you call something that is the product? That because what they create is they're the ones being sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything they do is being regurgitated to somebody, and they're buying it so they can custom tailor what they're going to do next to them.
They're the metadata generation.
We should call
The
them
hashtag
the
generation.
Orwellian generation.
Too confusing. Too long.
Yeah, they're not going to get
How do you
it.
spell that?
They won't get
TLDR.
it because they haven't read it.
If you can condense it,
possibly.
if you can condense it to an emoji, then you'll get their approval.
How about Animal Farm?
Still they haven't.
If you're
read
going to
it.
condense it to an emoji, just make it a taco.
Yeah. Has it been redone
taco
by Marvel?
generation.
Because if it has, then they'll watch it and then they'll understand.
Well, actually, that story has been redone about 1 billion times,
Oh.
over and over. the technically advanced government taking over and seizing control in an oppressive nature? You're telling me you haven't seen that movie a billion times?
I don't know. No. Okay, so Founders doesn't sit well with you guys. Producters.
How about call them the fucking Minecraft generation? How about that?
They're creating something. They're founding something there.
No, they didn't find anything. They used somebody else's creation as a sandbox. Call them the sandbox generation.
We use Steve Jobs' iPhone. That's the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm naming myself after the description of time.
Okay. So then, so what are we going to name them?
They're going to be how do you describe the
post-internet generation?
Yeah, the post-internet generation.
The plugged-in generation.
We'll get to that when there's a post-internet period to describe them with. We're not there yet. Okay. We're still in information age. We haven't made it to nanotech yet. Even though it's there, we're not using that.
It's not widely acceptable. It's not like an iPhone. It's not like a smartphone. Not everybody has it.
So if they're just 2000 on, the oldest they are 16
at the most. Yeah.
So that's pretty young.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't created shit
besides their own name that they named themselves.
They're
not even creating
1,000 people.
Yeah,
1,000 snotty 16-year-old pieces of shit get to name an entire fucking generation.
That's why I was like, how did you guys not jump on that? They named them. This is the generation that named themselves.
This is the generation that makes Justin Bieber fucking trend on Twitter.
Yes,
and
they're
Twitter,
the one that keep him alive and going.
And you know that Twitter fucking actually blocked that shit.
They blocked Justin Bieber
from trending
okay.
because they were so fucking annoyed because for several months, Justin Bieber was 7 of the top 10 trending topics. It got overrun by fucking 16, 14, and 13-year-olds.
Generation social media crap. I don't know.
Generation information vomit.
Yeah.
Generation
okay.
shared.
I was just like, okay, look at fucking Reddit. Reddit has devolved into... There used to be a proper sub for what's going on Reddit, and it was called Circle Jerk.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm serious, but somehow Circle Jerk, that's all Reddit is now. Reddit is just one huge circle jerk.
Yeah,
it's fucking Hillary for prison, and fucking.
Which I still like that name.
And the Donald.
You know what I think what the Donald is all the trolls that got kicked out of Fat People Hate and all that stuff. They were wandering around in little random subreddits rating their trollingness.
That is exactly.
And they found
happened.
one thing, and they're like, "Yes, we can latch onto this."
That
like,
is
this
so
fucking
down. That is so fucking on point, dude.
You know,
they needed somewhere to go.
There are little nooks and crannies in Reddit that are still untouched by this. Like I frequent the college football Reddit, and of course, No, you won't find Trump this or Hillary.
Because they probably
that
blocked it.
No, for sure. No, well, the thing is you're right. Like,
Reddit.
if you go into a subreddit that has like a few thousand people, then it's still good.
Millions.
Yeah, like
right?
our graphic design doesn't have shit in there. I know because
not yet.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Wait until the election season really starts ramping up.
You can get to like things like fucking woodworking.
Yeah.
Right.
Or sailing or AM radio. Yeah.
Cosplay is there's lots of great niches, but I think you're right, dude. I think the
trolls
Reddit
needed somewhere to go.
When Reddit started banning all the offensive subs,
yeah,
you know, the fappening, which had its own reasons.
Right.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like they banned all these ones that they thought were offensive, and now they've got like this little. They're like a almost. They're the opposite of a social justice warrior, clinging on to these little technicalities and screaming their heads off. And now they're like, "Hey, we're just pushing Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the man to go. You know it. You know, like they all like all their things.
They're hiding behind him, but all the shit posting is that it's still that
just,
same
What
crap.
they can do to piss off people.
Yes, they're just trying to attack, but they say that they're supporting Donald Trump, but really they're just maliciously attacking anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
If you look at their shit, their mods all automatically ban like any counter argument stuff. So
if I get banned from them, will I not show up on my feed anymore?
Nope, it still will.
You just can't post.
You just can't post.
You can't do anything about it.
If you try to say anything about Bernie Sanders in there, you're banned. Auto ban. They have like one of those little
bots.
That fucking auto bans
Kicks you out.
You know, and they hide behind the guise of they don't want Hillary's $1 million troll machine to go in and affect their sub.
But there's none of that. I haven't seen any posts for Hillary on Reddit. It's all
anti.
No, what they do,
There's
the
a whole
Hillary
subreddit
people go in there
based for Hillary bashing.
the Hillary people go in there and downvote the stuff,
oh, that's what you
right?
mean.
Because they don't want this stuff going to the top, the surface top, right? Because it's really weird. Because if you go to like a relatively strong trending Donald or like Bernie Sanders on there, I don't know if you've ever done this. Like if you just hit the refresh page, the numbers that are changing so fast are insane.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking votes that are going like up and down is ridiculous.
There's a lot of fucking trolls, and it sucks is what it is.
So do you think they don't believe in that? They're just using that
100%.
So doesn't that say something more? I mean, that sounds terrible and stupid, but to me, it says something more terrible about Donald Trump, that people can use this to hide behind it and can attack and shitpost so many different things just from one person, because there's so many different angles that he has that they can use to attack other people. Like, you couldn't do this with Bernie Sanders. You couldn't attack other people
their
from behind
their
Bernie
sub
Sanders.
wouldn't even allow it.
And that's
Even if they did allow it, you would have nothing to stand on to attack other people.
Right. Well, even Bernie Sanders won't attack people. He won't attack fucking Hillary, and that's his.
what he
But
said.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Trump has attacked so many people already
Yes.
and has so many terrible things that they just use these to
You
attack
guys
people.
really need to watch An American President. It addresses so much of what's going on, and it was 20 years ago.
I think because for 20 years it's been the same. This to me, this is the first year where we've seen an insurgency of the political system, a legitimate insurgency.
Do you think
By
those
Trump?
people will actually show up to vote?
Which people?
The Reddit people? Or are you just talking in general?
I'm just talking in general.
Oh, okay.
No, I think most of the people like in the Donald are like 16. I think they're the founders. Honestly, it's just
It's
just
founding
the
piles of
founders.
shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
leveling it,
can we
putting it up as thick as
segue
they
out of
can.
this and into a game? Can we do that?
Yeah, let's go on to the game.
All right. It's something we haven't talked about at all.
Movie golf.
4.
Okay.
I still haven't seen it. Civil War. It's out. I probably should.
Go see it.
I haven't seen it either, so please don't let that be on there.
All right. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But in
Do you
honor,
have that spreadsheet for this, or do I need to start?
are you even asking?
No, he's asking.
I do not have the spreadsheet for this.
Did you take your medication?
Someday I'll get everybody on board.
I tried it. I tried it once. So, but I'm doing Robert Downey Jr. movies that have starred Robert Downey Jr. And there are some that are in this millennium.
That's good.
You
Thank you.
uncultured fuck.
Thank you. No, I'm cultured. I just want something that's
the
current,
founders
too.
have seen it?
Now,
Anyways?
Mister, I don't appreciate Prince. Oh wait, that was really good.
Oh, that's one thing.
I'm gonna wear that the fuck out too. All right, first one we're starting with is 2009's Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, cool. It's a good movie.
It's not bad.
Yeah, see, 2009. It's not all shit.
I'm gonna try to keep my mouth shut until you've all voted, so I don't skew the thing. So,
Oh, we got background.
Guy Ritchie directed. Jude Law. RDJ is the titular character. Yeah. Jude Law plays Mr. Watson. So
Great description.
it's Sherlock Holmes. If you don't fucking know.
Well, if I'm a founder, I have no idea what the fuck it is. I've never read a book.
Yeah, well, found yourself into a fucking library and fucking read the shit.
What the fuck's a library? Can I download it?
Fucking Kindle it. Get it on your fucking Kindle.
I understand. I speak your language now, old man.
Okay, thanks.
Remember those ads? You wouldn't steal a car.
Yes,
You
I
could
would.
download it.
Fuck yeah, I download the fuck out of my car.
Yeah. Dude, I'll 3D print a BMW in a fucking heartbeat.
Is it a BMW if you still 3D print it?
Who gives a shit?
As
As long as I got the kidney grill, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
All right.
Who's going first?
Jeff, I'm just gonna go around the room.
Okay. I was late to see this movie. I thought it was going to be dog shit. I I felt like this is when Robert Downey Jr. was on his like comeback, like fucking make a movie every 6 months. But it was pretty good. It was entertaining. It had some cool slow motion things. It was a little bit. They brought some uniqueness to it, and Robert Downey Jr. always puts on a fucking spectacular, enjoyable performance. So I'm gonna say the audience gave it 85.
All right, 85 for Jeff. Rob?
So I have never seen this movie. This is one that I missed, and I have been wanting to go back and watch because I've had the second one. I've seen the second one on HBO, but I can't watch the second one if I haven't watched the first one.
Thank you.
But I can't find this anywhere, and I'm not going to pay to rent this from Redbox or from something else.
I think
like
I
that.
have it. I will
Or
get
from
it.
iTunes.
Yeah, I might have to see some homeless people sleeping against it.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it, but they did make a second one, and I think they're going to make a third one now.
They may now to cash in on all his Iron Man success.
Yeah, so this came out, I think, right after the first Iron Man. So he was like
around that, yeah.
he was starting to blow up. So I'm going to give it, I'll give it an 80.
It's
Just
80
a
for
guess.
Rob.
Okay.
Steven, you going $1? You miserable shit.
Why are you so grumpy with me, man? What the fuck?
Because that's what you do when you get old. You turn into an old codger and you get grumpy and shit, especially with a young generation.
All right. I have seen this movie. I thought it was really good because I thought Robert Downey Jr. was going to be a one-trick Iron Man pony. He's going to play himself, be the playboy. And this, he does a really good job of playing a quirky intellectual Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I thought he did a great job. Guy Ritchie, his shit was really cool. The whole slow-mo thing as like the long panning scene when things are blowing up. It's a really sick movie. I'm going to give it a 92. I thought it was really good.
Wow.
Yeah. I just thought it was... it's really entertaining. It's a solid movie.
It's a good
Powerful recommendation.
Yeah, it's a good take. It really is. He did a good job of it. There were some things that were left out. Most notably, Sherlock's heroin addiction.
Well, they're not going to put that in a... What was it? PG movie? Come on.
PG-13,
I don't think it's
'cause of all
necessary.
the explosions.
I liked it for what it was.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we at?
I don't know. I would have liked to have seen a
Do you-
little bit more true to the...
Do you watch the new Sherlock, the BBC Benedict Cumberbatch?
I saw
Martin
the first
Freeman?
episodes, the first season, I guess,
First three.
of Benny Cumberbatch. And he did a good job because he's fucking Benedict Cumberbatch. But
Have you guys seen those?
I've heard of
No.
it, but I have never seen
Oh,
it.
dude.
Is it good?
Watch it. It's so good.
Okay.
And Martin Freeman does an excellent job.
He's so
as
good.
Watson. He really
Yeah.
does. It's a modern interpretation.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it's set today,
Okay.
whereas this is back at what was this 1800s?
I don't know. It's
Late
back when
1800s?
doing heroin was somewhat socially acceptable.
Okay.
1800s.
Well, that was-
Or the
I
80s.
wish that they would
That
have
was a
just
long
taken
time.
it. There's like, like when they do a Western movie,
Sure.
and you can go real authentic, like grit,
True
You know?
Grit, yeah.
where everybody's fucking dirty,
Mm-hmm.
and people don't say that much, because their language skills, they don't really speak all that fucking.
Because they're out in the
well.
wilderness for days on their horse.
Like I think Robert Downey Jr. just because of his range would have been great if they would have done just a more realistic type of thing instead of trying to make I don't know. I feel like they punched it up too much, and they could have just gone with a much better written plot that he could have uncovered, because it's back then to where people could have done all kinds of crazy horrible things. He could have actually solved like a very specific murder that had some sort of conspiracy plot to it.
Sure.
And everybody, instead of him having to be almost like a superhero character again, where it's like, oh, everything's in slow mo, and his brain can calculate everything super fast, and he can
plays it back
swing
in
these,
his head.
yeah, like almost stopping time, like the Matrix type of shit. And I just think like Jude Law was a great pairing for him as the fucking
Dr. Watson. Yeah.
Dr. Watson. So I don't know. I still like the movie, but I feel like it could have done better if they would have gone.
I
a
think
little bit
that
more
that
subtle and-
failing goes to Ritchie on that one. I hate saying it,
He's
but
the
it's
director.
Did it
Yeah.
follow the books at all?
From
was
my
it original?
recollection, it loosely did. It wasn't as faithful as I think it could have been.
It had
I
most of
think
the characters. Because Moriarty. How do you say his name?
Moriarty.
Yes, thank you. He was the main bad guy too. So.
But this now you're blending the two.
Oh.
So no, and Another stellar performance from someone that doesn't get a lot of notoriety today, but should. Mark Strong, excellent British actor.
Never heard of him.
Don't know who that is.
What's the score?
All right, you'll hear of him soon. The score. From RottenTomatoes.com, critics give it 70. The audience gives it a 77.
Damn it! Fuck.
Suck it.
That's right.
Strong trash talk coming out of Rob. What's Rob fixing his score back over there too?
Right. Oh, how convenient.
78. What did you come in at?
80. So I
80?
have 3.
Okay.
You
So
have 8.
A.
You have 15.
Okay.
All right, the next movie you probably haven't seen. And
Perfect. That's what this game's for.
Right.
Yeah.
Movies we haven't seen.
Opinions I can base off of nothing.
No, I threw this in there because it's a damn good movie. The way it was done was really unique, and it's a really good story on top of it.
Which is?
A Scanner Darkly came out in 2006.
Oh yeah, it had that really cool cell shading animation style.
Yeah.
Looked terrible.
It's
Keanu Reeves.
it's
One of
like
those mindfucks.
rotoscoping kind of
Yeah,
things.
mindfuck movies.
But yeah, like it's a Philip K. Dick story.
Lots of drugs, lots of
Yeah.
counterculture.
Definitely a drug thing. It's probably the most unique thing is you have a suit that can hide your identity completely, so nobody knows who you are, and there's rampant drug usage.
Does this have Keanu Reeves in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So saw this movie. I have no idea what it was about. I was so distracted by the visuals of it.
Yeah.
It's probably high, but I don't know. I know I saw this movie, and I have no memory of it other than it looked like a Disney movie that was drawn by 7-year-olds. Like, just scattered fucking line, like drawing over the lines, you know? Like, that's my visual, like, of the movie, like a bad LSD trip.
Sure.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So, and if you guys are saying that it's actually kind of highfalutin in depth and, in story and it might be complex in counterculture, I'm going to say people fucking hated it. And I'm going to go 68.
All right. Speaking of counterculture, one of the people in this movie.
You
other
can't add
than-
information after I fucking give
Go
my
ahead.
fucking
This is
score.
Go ahead. It's
You're
fine.
telling us.
It's
Yeah.
Sure, educate
no,
them.
It's totally irrelevant.
Tell them what the critics scored too while we're at it. How many weeks in the box office was it?
Alex
starts
Jones
with
is
a-
in it.
Who's Alex
That
Jones?
means nothing to me.
Yeah.
Alex Jones?
See, okay, would that have changed your rating?
No, but
Yeah,
that's
thank
well, I'm not going to say anything to help these fools.
All right.
All right, Rob, what do you got?
The government is trying to watch us with black helicopters.
This guy.
That's
So
Alex
did
Jones.
not-
You don't know that guy?
No, I don't know that.
Oh, man,
You
he's
guys aren't millennials. Get the fuck out of my generation.
yeah. You Gen Xers know fucking Rush Limbaugh. No, that's all Alex Jones nowadays.
So I didn't see this. I thought just seeing the previews for it, I thought the visuals looked super annoying. It looked like they went into Photoshop and turned on like the comic book filter with like the plastic wrap filter at the same time.
Yeah.
So it looked terrible. I don't think this movie did very well. So I'm gonna go with Jeff. I'm gonna actually give it a 65.
All right.
Okay.
It did not do very well commercially.
Yes, I love being last.
That doesn't necessarily mean that it
Love
doesn't
Big
get
Laugh.
rated well.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It definitely doesn't. Stephen?
Okay.
I'm
You have
fucking
any-
with you now.
way to
any
cover
more-
it
you have
up.
Any more?
Way to
You have
cover
any
it
more
up.
hints you want to
Wow.
give me?
Worst host ever.
I'm fucking with him, man. Come on.
Okay,
Sure.
so I saw a lot of previews for this movie. I actually thought the art style looked really cool, but that's when I was going through like my design school phase, so everything looked cool at the time. I don't. Nobody's really seen it though. Fucking, I'm actually gonna give it a really low score of 58. I don't think it did that well at all. I think it was like. All right, where we at?
All right. It did not do that well in the theater. I could pull up exact numbers, but I remember seeing it.
Just give us
we
a
just need
score.
dude. Come on.
All right. The critic score is a 69. The audience score is a 74. So it did almost as well as Sherlock.
74? Oh, yeah. It came in
shit.
68.
I'll have to go back and watch this movie. Or not, whatever. All right, Rob, where's the scores? Like, how badly am I losing?
I'm at 37. Steve, you're at 42. Jeff, you're at 45.
All right. The next one. Hopefully you've all seen this one. It was released in 2008, Tropic Thunder.
Oh, wait. Hold on. What was the last score for the last one?
74.
Okay, those results are totally wrong.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. How's
I was
Steven
thinking
winning?
That math didn't add up. So I'm at
Steven's
12.
winning?
No, whoa, let's go back.
I'm at 12. Jeff's at 14, and you're at 31.
Fuck.
Way off.
I can make up ground. Okay. So, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, where he plays an Australian who's playing a black guy.
Yeah. Notice how he hasn't said anything
All
about
right,
the
and
movie?
I'm going to
He's
go ahead and
just
say
saying more.
probably, in my opinion, Tom Cruise's best role ever was in this movie.
I will say...
It's so hard to even notice that it was him at first.
Right. that's what makes it so great.
I am not a Ben Stiller fan. I actually kind of refuse to watch anything with Ben Stiller in it because I'm so over him. I liked him in Something About Mary, and I liked him in the first Meet the Fockers.
I would see Walter Mitty. If you're not a Ben Stiller fan, watch Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Does it have Ben Stiller in it?
Yeah.
No thanks.
He is
Did
Walter
you hear
Mitty.
the man? Come on.
No, but it's not your typical Ben Stiller movie.
It's like the deep
By
movie
far.
that he tried to do.
I wouldn't even call it. Well, yeah.
Anyways, so I'm also not really a strong Jack Black fan.
Man, that hurts.
Some of his
Really
younger
got
stuff when
quiet.
he's just kind of like an asshole, a younger kid in like what was that book with Atreyu and Falcor and
the
Never-Ending
the
Story.
Never-Ending Story. Thank you.
He was in that?
Yeah, I didn't know he was in that.
he's the bully.
What?
He's the bully.
the fuck ever,
Yeah.
man. Fuck you. I'm looking that up. No, he's not.
Fucking
You're fucking
founders.
with me.
Fucking founders, man.
Is
But-
he right?
I will tell you that Robert Downey Jr. like, god damn, does he like pulls all these characters together in this movie,
So good.
and this movie has so much gold in it. But overall, the whole movie, like, I'm not really into. But there are scenes that I could, that I can remember. I'm not good at quoting movies. But I know that this is a cultural fucking hit. So I'm 2 points away from Rob.
It's close neck and neck with you guys.
Do we have another one after this, or this is it?
Yeah, there's one more.
Okay. I'm gonna play it safe.
The next one's really going to do you.
I'm gonna play it safe.
And let me say this too. I agree with you about the Jack Black thing. His younger stuff, when he was in Airborne, fucking brilliant.
Way better when he was younger.
Yeah.
Until he got typecast and started doing the same character over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
That's
little bit.
where
He
it gets
still does
fucking
good
lame.
stuff sometimes, but his younger stuff is way
But
better.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
God, it's like
80.
popping a fucking zit with this guy.
I'm gonna go 81. 81.
Okay.
Okay, so I really liked this movie. I like everybody in it. You don't like Ben Stiller? You don't like Jack Black? What about Nacho Libre? Not funny?
Fuck no, I'm not even seeing that shit.
School of Rock?
Really?
Not even seeing that shit, bro. No. What was that shitty band that he was in?
Tenacious
You didn't?
D?
You don't like Tenacious
Yo,
D?
fuck that band.
Shut
Fuck that
the
music.
fuck up.
Horrible.
Get out.
Horrible.
Get out now.
Seriously.
Whatever, founders.
Oh, God.
You don't even know where that guy originates from.
Doesn't
You
matter.
think you're fans?
I know what he's
You didn't
done.
even know he
You
was
don't
in
like Tenacious D?
You didn't
That's-
even know
that's-
he was from the
that's
Never-Ending
That's one
Story?
of the biggest things he's known for.
I haven't seen that movie since I was 5.
Yeah, Never-Ending Story I can forgive. But
because you guys were 5. I was probably like 10.
No, dude, you're like
and
a
I was
month or
30.
two older than
Fuck
me.
you. I mean, whatever.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, we recorded that. I'm going back. I'm going to
I'm
figure out your
32.
age.
Alright.
How old are you?
I'm going to be 32 here in a bit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I just turned 30.
All right. You're
So
still founders
You're
to
not
me.
that much.
You're still founders to me.
We're
You
back
guys
in
are just
my
less.
day.
You guys are just less cultured.
You're all still fucking pussies to me. So score this shit and let's get it over.
I'm going to give this one an 88.
All right.
Okay. Hmm.
All right, keep going.
I'm gonna go.
You did see this, right?
I did see this.
Okay.
It's been a while ago. I thought it was good. Not one of my favorites. A lot of quotable stuff though. 78 is where I'm gonna land at.
78 for
78.
for Booty Sweat.
For Booty Sweat.
Did you forget about that?
The scenes at the beginning where they're showing all the trailers for each of these actors is so funny. The one
Yeah.
with Robert Downey Jr. and it has Tobey Maguire in it with him when they're at the Abbey.
Barely remember that.
You gotta watch
I
it.
have to
It's
go back
funny.
and see it again.
Matthew McConaughey's in this. Danny McBride's in this.
Oh man, Eastbound and Down.
Sorry, dude.
Okay, Tropic Thunder, which I'm not even going to summarize it. We if you haven't seen it, go fucking see it already. Critics gave it an 83. However, the audiences gave it a 70.
Oh shit!
Did you guys
kids.
both overshoot?
I barely overshot.
Damn. So
I gave myself 11 points there.
Jeff is in the lead at 25.
Sup, kids?
I'm at 30. Steve, you're pulling ahead at 39.
Hey.
He's still in it.
Possible.
Neverending Story actually came out in 1984.
Cool.
Oh, I was not born yet.
I was alive by a couple of months.
Depends on what month. I may or may not have been alive yet.
I'm assuming I was alive by a couple of months.
Okay, what's the last movie?
It
The
came out
last
in July,
movie-
so yeah.
Oh, but that's the month I was born. Fuck yeah.
I am pretty sure that none of you have seen it. If you have,
Well, thank
much
you for
respect.
picking it.
No. 1987's Less Than Zero.
No. I've
Wow.
not seen this.
I was
Okay.
10 years old.
Let me give you a little bit about it. Okay.
We need to send you home with some parameters on how to make this game.
No. There's a reason I picked this one out because
This isn't Chad's movie
it's
review
actually
suggestions.
the first. It's based on the first novel written by a guy who's more well known for his third novel, American Psycho. Bret Easton Ellis.
This is a horror movie?
No, well, some would consider it that. It's
Thriller?
about really affluent teens in L.A. in the 80s. Robert Downey Jr. is the main character who has an insane drug problem to the point that his dealer, James Spader,
Has
is
anybody seen this?
Nope.
No.
You got to pick another movie on the fly. You got to pick a movie we've seen.
the judge.
No.
No, I didn't see it.
Jeez, what the fuck? That's actually something in the past, 5 years.
That's true, but too serious for me.
200 Underground.
Too much, too underground, too much drama.
All right. Give me a moment.
Head over to IMDb. Look
That's
up a
where
list
I'm
of
going.
movies.
I've got the app.
God, yeah.
Just hold on. Let me figure out
I'm
my
gonna-
spectacles.
Shut up.
Why don't you do like Iron Man 2?
No, because that's a gimme. That's something I couldn't.
I don't think
couldn't
Iron
do it
Man
on
2 is. I feel like Iron Man 2 is a
It's
hard one to
debatable.
pick.
I thought you had this game already prepared, Chad.
I did have it prepared. Can't help it, you fuckers don't see shit.
How about Chef? How about The Judge? How about Iron Man 3? How about
How about you
Avengers?
No, no,
quit
don't
looking?
don't
Quit
look at
looking.
movies.
You can't
don't,
look.
Don't look
I'm
at
on
movies.
IMDb. It's
Yeah,
Rotten
but
Tomatoes score.
that's going to give you
Oh.
a close guesstimate. I say we go with Iron Man 2.
Mutiny. We're going with Iron Man 2.
Yeah, okay.
Civil War right now.
I could
take it
go
over.
with Bowfinger.
Never seen
I don't know what that is. Iron Man 2.
Fuck,
So,
all right.
so start debate.
How about U.S. Marshals?
Iron Man
This also
2
be
has the guy with the electric whips. Or is
Whiplash.
that, is
yeah,
that,
that's
okay.
Mickey Rourke. This is when they did the change for Rhodey. They
I
changed out Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle.
Yes.
damn, I felt like Iron Man 1 was such a breakout fucking comic book movie just for like the genre itself. It was a massive breakout like
Yeah.
that
huge.
it was like you
it
don't
was-
even have to know comic books and you can come watch this shit and have a fucking blast like
Yeah.
watching this movie.
The first comic book movie besides like Batman to
Yeah.
be huge.
I don't even think Batman transcends comic books. It's been its own movie hit thing for so long that people think of like Batman when they make a Batman movie. It's just like it's kind of its own. Batman's like its own genre at this point.
There you go.
Like
That's
Batman.
that's how you could define it. You could call it the Matrix generation. They don't know a world without the Matrix. They don't know a world where anybody other than Ben Affleck and what's his name?
Generation
Christian Bale.
Matrix.
Wasn't the
Generation
Matrix,
Matrix.
Didn't that come out before the year 2000?
99.
Yeah. So I don't think
99.
that applies either.
No, but he's talking the description.
I'm just
though.
giving him shit.
Everybody's
now for
plugged
no
in.
reason.
Iron Man 2, I felt like it was a letdown. I felt like the Mickey Rourke character didn't really play out to be as cool as it could have been. There's a couple of cool scenes.
He yells about wanting his bird in a terrible Russian accent.
Yeah, it's just there was a lot of like really just dumb shit in that movie, and I didn't like the fucking end. Like the ending, the last scene where all of a sudden they have 100,000 lasers that can shoot out in every direction to destroy and defend against all the missiles. I'm just like, why the fuck you weren't using that shit from like the get go? Like you could have used that shit. You had that in your arsenal, and you never used that until now. So I feel like that one was kind of a disappointment. And the audience would go down from that just because the high on the first one was so high that the tragedy of trying to chase the dragon. So I'm gonna say Iron Man 2, 78.
Okay. So you basically said everything. I think this was the last one that Jon Favreau directed. He directed the first one, so I don't know if it was because it didn't do as well that he didn't direct another movie after that. Because
I think he wanted to be in it more than he wanted to direct it.
Yeah, well, he's barely in it as Happy.
He's in it more in the third one, I think. He has a more pivotal role.
Yeah, I like him in it. I think they should do more. I don't know if they're going to do another Iron Man, though. But just to have a chance to win, I'm going to have to go up. So I'm going to say I'll do 84.
See, it doesn't matter what movie. You're all doing this based on strategy at this point.
Well,
anyway.
it's a game. That's the whole thing. That's
But
that's why it's.
I still have to think about whether they liked it more or less than 78.
That's why the advantage of being able to go first, because you get to plant your flag in the safest zone and force other people to go either higher or lower than you to make up ground.
Yeah. I was really let down by Whiplash. I thought it was going to be so much more cooler than it was, and just kind of like, and like, yeah, the ending was really weak sauce. They're just kind of like, and now they're done. I don't know. It was a big letdown, especially from the first one. This one fell 3 tiers lower. There's no way in hell I'm going to win, so I'm going to go 73.
Survey says.
The critics gave it a 72. The audience gave it a 72.
Nice.
I got 1 point.
And you know what? And I'm going to say this. I conceded that you guys wanted another movie. I'll go with it. But you really should fucking see Less Than Zero. The same guy wrote American Psycho, which, come on, I know you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went as what's his nuts? Christian Bale's character name.
Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, I went for him as Halloween one year. It was like, it's an easy throw together costume. You get a good shirt, rip it up, pour some blood in you, carry around a briefcase, done.
Oh, you should have had a chainsaw.
Yeah, well,
But I mean, that's just it. It's a good movie. Any movie that's got, I can't say it because it gives too much away. Any movie that's got in it what happens is definitely worth it. That's all I'm
Really,
gonna say.
I love
really
it when
gonna go
movies
sell that now.
have in it what happens.
oh man, that's so awesome when that person does that thing. Fuck
they
me,
do?
it's so good. And then it's got that chick too.
Oh, that chick,
Oh,
yes.
dude, yeah, dude. But it's got the chick.
So good.
I'm sorry, man.
Okay,
totally fair.
let's do this. Next movie one. Give us Leonardo DiCaprio movies.
I go for
'Cause
that.
So you can go research it? That's not fair. I got two
No, I
already
won't
lined
look.
up.
You can pick them at random. Trust me, I got way too much shit to do than to try to fucking master every Leonardo DiCaprio movie. And you have a shit ton to choose from.
There's a fair amount of stuff there. Yeah, I got.
You can
maybe
go
there's something
before
like
or
that.
after his blackball from fucking the movie industry.
I'll probably
nobody
do
knows.
both. I'll straddle that line.
You know he was blackballed after Titanic?
Yeah.
That's why he didn't produce a movie for like a decade.
What about The Beach? Wasn't that in between?
I don't know that one. I know there was some sort of drama about the Academy Awards or something because
There-
he didn't get
There were
nominated.
issues where he didn't get nominated and he said something or did something. I can't remember what
That's-
it was.
it-
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
blacklisted, not blackballed.
Blackball means he's out. Done.
Oh.
Blacklisted
I thought-
means some most people wouldn't work with him.
Oh, okay, my bad. That's something.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
Anyway,
All right, let's wrap this up.
Go fuck yourself, everybody.
And watch Lesson
And-
Zero.
I don't know what's going on, but the last 4 episodes, we've had like 25 people from Slovenia. So,
Slovakia.
sup, Slovakia?
shout out y'all.
I don't know what the fuck's going on over there, but keep it up. Fucking just give us a shout out on something. I want to know what the fuck that's about. Like, how did that even happen? I'm genuinely fucking curious.
Yeah, post in one of our things. Let us know.
Fucking say something. It doesn't even have to be in English. I got Google Translate. I don't know how you guys even understand this shit. Covalence Cast at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Reddit.